Corner. I'm Tina, and today I'm going to make Martha Washington candies. Here we go. My recipe calls for, I'm making a double batch, but it calls for a half a cup of butter, and to run it in my mixer. I had let it sit there and get completely room temperature so it's nice and soft. Now I'm going to add 2/3 of a cup of sweetened condensed milk, not evaporated milk, but eat what we used to call Eagle brand, sweetened condensed milk. You can use any brand you want. We always referred to it as Eagle brand at home. It was only when I got older that I discovered there were other brands of it. All right. I'm going to mix that with the butter slowly. Get that all mixed up. And I'm going to start adding my coconut and my sugar. I'm going to start with the coconut. I'm going to start adding my coconut here. I want 4 cups, or in my case, 8 cups, because like I said, I'm making a double batch. Of flaked coconut, sweetened flaked coconut. There's 1. There's 2-ish. I have all these, I've ended up with all these half-open packages of, half-used open package of coconut. So I'm going to use this as a way to consolidate all of that. We like it a lot, and I use it for different things throughout the year, and I'm kind of bad about it. And there's 3. And that, along with the extra from that other one, is 4. Kind of bad about just grabbing a bag. And I buy it when it's on sale. I like to shop at Big Lots, and every so often they have a 20% store-wide sale. Well, that's when I buy my staples, things that are not normally on sale, toilet paper and paper towels, and okay, there's 5, 6. 7, and here we go. Let's get 8. Oh, cool. Got to a new bag finally. All right. Okay, there we go. There's 8 cups of coconut. Let's mix that with our mixer a little bit and let it get kind of, oops. I do that same thing with flour. Every time I make bread, I spray flour all over. Back to trash. Get even more of it on the floor. Scrap around. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. I'm not sure what the lemon juice does, but I'm going to add it. Maybe it helps preserve the milk. We'll see. And 3 teaspoons or a tablespoon of vanilla. It's a 1.5 teaspoons is what it is, and so 3 teaspoons of vanilla, which I'm using, is a tablespoon. But for the regular recipe, we use 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, and 1½ teaspoons of vanilla. I have my chocolate melting. I'm using almond bark for this. You can use whatever your preference is. I know how to make it with the old way where you melt your chocolate chips and put some paraffin in with it. But since I had almond bark, I wanted to go ahead and do that. All right, and then we're going to use, it calls for a full pound of powdered sugar. I'm not sure if this will take a full 2 pounds or not. We're gonna mix it in a little at a time here and see. I use my KitchenAid so much more now that I have a kitchen where it can stay on the counter. The houses we lived in before, the cabinets were too low and it wouldn't fit, and so I was always having to put it underneath the cabinet and haul it out. But now, when our son Devin built these cabinets for us a few years back, and I asked him if he'd make this one tall enough for me to put the mixer under it and my coffee pot. And I love it because I can move them to clean under them, but they fit just beautifully. And it looks like I need to switch to. I might need to switch to my dough hook with this. I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to pull this out and switch to my dough hook so that it won't catch all this batter here, because I'm fixing to add more of the powdered sugar, and it's going to get a lot stiffer. It's almost going to be like a dough. The dough hooks are great. I use this, I may have mentioned before, I have a small cottage food business, and I bake bread and sell it. And so when I'm baking, I use this to knead my bread with, and it sure does save me an awful lot of work. All right, here. Get my dough hook on. Here we go. This will be a lot better. Okay. There we go. Now let's put some more of that sugar in there. Because I still have to add some nuts too. In fact, let me get them in there real quick. My recipe, Southern Living cookbook recipe, calls for pecans, which I have, but Paul's favorite nut is walnuts, and I had some walnuts in the freezer. So don't tell him that as a treat for him, I'm going to put walnuts in this batch, since that's his favorite nut. You can mix this by hand. You do not have to have the mixer to do it with, but in reading on it, this is the first time I've ever made these. I've always loved them. I never realized how easy they were to make. It's kind of like that with a lot of candies. I have a few kinds of candy that I've made. I'll make toffee and film that one day this week. But I haven't made. Boy, I've been. I spent all day yesterday making. I was going to make, friendship tea and some instant chai tea for gifts, and I found a recipe for an instant cappuccino, and I thought, well, that'll be fun. But to make it, gosh, it ended up taking me all day long. The recipe didn't taste that good when I got done with the original one, and so I was fiddling with it and playing with it and adding this and that to it and adjusting the flavor to try to get it to taste better. and by the time I got finished with all that and got it all packaged and all, it was night, time to start supper. I was like, so this morning real quick I was able to make my teas, and they went real good. They came together real well. I'm especially happy with my. I did some different things this year with those, and I don't know, everybody knows how to do those, I think, so I don't know that I'll make a video with those since I've already got them made up, but anyway, I was pleased with how those came out. Stuff that down. All right, I'm going to turn this off since this is probably getting too long, and then I'll be back when I'm ready to roll. All right, I'm back. I refrigerated my dough for a little while, probably maybe about an hour, and then I started making it into balls. I've melted my chocolate in my little croquette. You can find these at garage sales lots of times for $1. So I kind of keep my eyes open and pick them up when I find them. I've got a couple of them now, and they're handy for things like this. I have one that I make. Well, I'll tell you about that in another video. Anyway, so I've got my dipping chocolate in here, and like I said, I'm just using almond bark because that's what I had. If you don't have almond bark, you can use regular chocolate chips and add add a tablespoon of butter or two to them, or you can add a tablespoon or so of grated paraffin. If you have food grade paraffin like we used to use, on top of our jellies, you can mix that with your chocolate, and it makes a lovely dipping chocolate that'll be real glossy, very pretty. So I'm going to use skewers. I've got some clean bamboo skewers here, and that's what I'm going to use for my dipping. You don't want to get any water in your chocolate ever. Never, never, never get any moisture at all. No water in it. But let's see. Let's give this a try and see how it goes. It's been a while since I did any dipping, so there are some complicated directions on how to do it with 2 forks and things, but skewers work just fine as far as I'm concerned. You can also there we go. Yep, and then I'm setting them on. I've had this on. You know what? I think. Hold on, let me turn this off for a second. I'll go get some parchment, put these on. I think that'll be better. Okay, now I'm back. All right, now, so I've put some parchment down here, and that's what I'm gonna move these balls onto after I dip them. They were starting to kind of fall apart through the racks, so there. Oh yeah, that's going to be much better. And then of course they'll come off the parchment. If you don't have parchment paper, you can use waxed paper for this. Waxed paper would be perfect for it. I'm just stabbing one in with my little skewer, and then they come right back up pretty easily, same way. These little candies are so good. We're big fans of coconut, and these are so tasty, so I'm going to do up a few of them. You can also do them. Some recipes call for semi-sweet chocolate, and some recipes call for a white chocolate, or what they used to call a vanilla coating. Oops, that one broke. See there? It goes right back together, and that chocolate will kind of hold them together. You can also roll them in some more powdered sugar before you dip them, but I don't think that was necessary with these. You can also make your balls and then refrigerate them, but I think this is working pretty good here, so I'm pretty comfortable with this. Anyway, that's how we do this, and they need to sit there undisturbed for probably for at least a couple of hours, maybe even overnight before I go messing with them. It takes that chocolate a long time to really harden and firm up good. So I'm not gonna not going to mess with these until tomorrow. And then I'll start putting them together with some of my other things to make for Christmas gifts. All right, that's I'll try to come back and show you what some of the finished products look like with a little bit of packaging on them. All right, thank you so much. All right, I'm back. Now I'm going to show you how I'm going to package these. I've got a box that checks came in. I don't know if you still use paper checks, but I still do. So I've been saving my boxes, and they're just about the right size, you know, for putting these candies in. If you don't have this size of a box, it's real easy to make, and you can make it out of cardstock. If you'll notice, it's just all it is it's there's probably some patterns on the internet. It's just one slice in each one, so that these flaps go on the inside, and then this is tucked up on the outside. So it's real. You could make your own box real easy. I'm going to put some wax paper on the inside of it as a liner, like that, to fold over. All right, that's what we're going to do. Now I've used I've got one started, so you can see this one. All I did is I took a square. I used one of my lids, jar rings. It's just about the right size. I have some of these little tiny, you know, foil baking cups, and I'll probably use these for some of them. But when we're being frugal, you know, sometimes it's better if we can use what we have instead of running to the store and falling prey to. You know, I have had these. Look how old these are. I probably bought them on clearance one time, but now these probably cost $3 or $4, and that's kind of crazy. That adds up in a hurry. So you can either cut a circle or leave them as squares, and have them see just about the same size. These are a 1-inch little cup. My candies are just about that size, and so I needed a 2-inch ring because the sides come up, see, about a 1/2 inch all the way around. I've got this little scoop. You need something that's about the size of your candies, because you don't want to mash it around your candies. But I want to get my wrapper kind of started, and kind of get a shape to it before I add my candy to it. So there's that. Now let me put another candy in it and just set it in there right next to that one. And see, that's actually looking pretty nice. You can kind of tell when they're all in there, it's going to be very pretty. You could do this with a tissue paper if you have you know, clean, brand new tissue paper. I wouldn't use anything used as the wrapper for that. So the paper that we save, the tissue that we save out of packages that we get, I'd use that for more packages. But if you do have a new package, that would work in this as well. But you know, wax paper is just fine. And now let's see how the foil does. Let me just poke it down in here and shape it. Looky there, what a nice shape that is. And let's just take this. Now this is later this evening. These set up pretty good in about 3 hours. They could still use a little bit more setting, but I wanted to get this video finished because I fiddled around. I made salmon croquettes tonight, and I meant to film that, and I didn't get to because I hadn't finished this video. So, all right. So see, there's how it looks with the foil. Or with the foil squares. I kind of like the square. I like those little points sticking up there. I think they're kind of cute. It kind of makes it look like an artier kind of product. And all right, and see, I'm just going to put. There we go. All right, now, so and see, this will hold. This little box will hold 8 candies, and And for homemade candies, that's a really nice little gift for somebody. So that's and then I'll wrap my box with, you know, something. Heck, you can even wrap it with aluminum foil, would work just fine. But I'll probably, you know, do something like that and decorate it up a little bit. Here's some of the other things I've been working on. See, I made some Thai tea and I've got some friendship tea over there and stuff. And anyway, I hope y'all enjoy. I'm making this before the end of our contest, but I'm not going to post it till after the contest is over. Or it's not a contest, but the little giveaway, because I'm excited to see what recipes you guys are going to share. I'm hoping that I'll find some new ones that I can make this year. All right, thank you guys. All right, one last look to show you the finished product. This is just an empty check. Paper checks box that I've covered with paper. Just covered the top of it. The bottom is white, so I left it white. All I did was line it with wax paper. You could use parchment too. And I put my little candies in there. Don't they look pretty? Just a perfect, whoops, it's falling over. There we go. Just it holds 8 of these just perfectly. So just a nice size for a gift of homemade candy for somebody. All right, thank you.